The world's most important people live in the world's most guarded houses. Miniature armies and advanced technologies help keep these homes more secure than any other. Here are the top 15 most guarded houses on Earth. Number 15. Fairfield Estate, the Hamptons. The Hamptons is where you'll find some of the most highly sought-after properties in the U.S., and with so many of the country's wealthy residents having homes there, it's no surprise that security precautions are next level. Possibly the most famous and most controversial building is the Fairfield Estate, which is estimated to be worth up to $500 million, is one of the largest and most valuable houses in the country. With a garage that holds 100 cars and a $150,000 hot tub and an art collection thought to be valued in the hundreds of millions of dollars, the billionaire owner of Fairfield Estate has ensured that only welcome guests are able to enter. The entire plot of land is surrounded by an impenetrable wall that's patrolled and monitored by security guards 24 hours a day. Routine patrols by armed personnel are conducted throughout the grounds. There are hundreds of hidden security cameras across the site, and every single window is bulletproof. Details of what the interior is like are somewhat scarce, even to the extent that no one's entirely sure how many rooms there are, which ensures that intruders aren't able to plan their movements ahead of time. Nor do they know the location of the valuable items or where the reported 6 different safe rooms are. Number 14. Xanadu 2.0. Xanadu 2.0 in Medina, Washington is the estimated $127 million mansion that was built from the ground up by Microsoft founder Bill Gates. As you'd expect from such a high-profile figure in the tech industry, the design of the home incorporated the latest technological advances and has an unbelievable level of security to protect the residents and possessions inside. With 7 bedrooms and 18 bathrooms, a beach made up of sand imported from the Caribbean, and an artificial stream that's kept stocked with fish, it's an incredible property that someone once reportedly paid $35,000 to just tour. And given that Gates' favorite tree is electronically monitored 24 hours a day, you can just imagine how tight the security is. Upon arrival, each guest is given their own unique PIN number, and once they've entered their lighting and temperature preferences, these follow them around the house as they move from room to room. Not only does this ensure comfort, but it allows security teams to know where each authorized person is at any time. There's a dedicated security office where a constantly present team monitors cameras, motion sensors, heat sensors, and countless other devices across the property, and it's considered to be so secure that Gates has hosted dinners with several governors at once. Although when he holds an event like these, an extra security perimeter is set up around Xanadu 2.0, whereby the entire lake is closed and the VIP guests arrive by boat. Number 13. The Corby family home. Al Corby was the founder of the security company Safe, so it makes sense that the house that was built for his family is one of the most guarded homes on the planet. The 7,700 square foot property is located in the Hollywood Hills and almost looks like a white fortress on its own mound. Built on concrete pillars that were inserted 30 feet into the hilltop, the house is completely quake-proof, but this is just the beginning of the safety features that have been added. There are no keys at all, and the family instead uses biometric devices to gain access throughout, and it's virtually impossible to gain entry without entering through the front door, as all the windows are bulletproof and the walls are reinforced with steel. In the worst-case scenario, when an intruder is able to get inside, residents are able to make use of 2 panic rooms with steel walls, 2 safe core bedrooms that can be sealed shut with bank vault-style doors, and if that wasn't enough, the wine cellar can also be used as a secure bunker, and has been installed with vents that release disorienting fog to combat any unwelcome guests. iPads are fitted to all the walls of all the rooms to give camera views of each part of the home, all of which make it one of the most secure properties in all of LA and the rest of the world. Number 12. The Ryongsong Residence. Houses in North Korea aren't exactly known for how modern or luxurious they are, but for Kim Jong-un, only the best will do. It's been claimed that he owns 8 palaces around the country's capital, Pyongyang alone, but the one that gets the most attention is known as the Ryongsong Residence, which is in a top-secret location somewhere in the city. Believed to cover an area of 4.6 square miles, the plot of land was developed by his grandfather and completed in 1983, and is one of the most secure sites in the country. It has an underground bunker where the country can be run from, which is covered with iron rods and concrete to protect against a nuclear attack, and there's an entire military battalion responsible for patrolling and protecting the site. Furthermore, it's surrounded by several electric fences, a number of minefields, and a number of security checkpoints that mean you'll be searched at least 4 times before getting close to the property. As an extra precaution, the residence is believed to be connected to other palaces by an underground tunnel and an underground railroad that allows the leader to enter the home without anyone in the outside world knowing his actual location. Number 11. The KWK Safe House. With the perceived threat of a global disaster, people around the planet are building bunkers that are designed to protect them against the worst-case scenario. But the KWK Safe House is a world's first, as it's said to be the first to be built that's completely zombie-proof. Located on the outskirts of the Polish capital city Warsaw, it's a huge concrete structure where every route of entry has been carefully planned. In normal use, it's an open, modern, and spacious structure with stunning views out across the Polish countryside. But at the flip of a switch, it can be turned into a secure fortress which is impossible to break into without permission by those inside. The exterior walls can slide into place to lock down the building, and it's also been fitted with an aluminum roll gate that was produced by a company that usually builds security for shipyards. The impenetrable structure is just the last line of defense, however, as the grounds are also surrounded by 7-foot-tall walls and a series of security cameras that can be monitored from inside. The security doesn't mean the house is lacking in amenities, though, and it has a swimming pool and a movie theater that can be used even when it's been locked down. Number 10. Chateau 5. Often referred to as the maximum security mansion, Chateau 5 is a $17.5 million mansion in Evergreen, Colorado. Based on the historic Biltmore estate, the castle has 16,800 square feet of floor space and has 6 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms, and has a lavish interior that's decorated with 126 chandeliers, huge 25-foot-tall ceilings, a wine cellar, and a library. With incredible views across Mount Evans, this is a place that only the mega-wealthy can live, and as a result, huge attention has been paid to its security, with the features for protection costing an estimated $6 million. They include regular patrols by guards and dogs, a thermal imaging suite that uses heat-sensitive cameras around the site to locate every living being within the castle's 32 acres of land, and even a fingerprint analysis lab that can trace a print within 20 minutes, meaning any suspect can be identified before they even have a chance to leave. Further to this are countless security cameras that are connected to a centralized system, and this is linked to an online platform that can be monitored from a smartphone app. There's also rumors that the house has been fitted with pressure pads, camera system that monitors the local highway for approaching vehicles, and a number of other secret features to ensure that, no matter how much they plan, intruders are never sure what they may come up against. Number 9. The Rice House. The Rice House in Johns Creek, Georgia was only recently put on market for an asking price of just under $15 million. And in the listing, it became clear just how secure the new owners will feel when they're in the residence. It's on a 3-acre plot within an exclusive country club, and the structure itself covers an area of 36,000 square feet, taking 6 years to build, and has a number of concealed entrances and exits, ballistic doors and walls, and bulletproof glass in all of the windows. There are 8 bedrooms, 14 bathrooms, and 3 kitchens, with most of them adaptable to be able to be used as safe rooms. But if owners inside really feel in danger, they can retreat to the 15,000 square foot bunker basement, which also has its very own gun range. This is also a house where a family could supposedly survive for up to 3 years without outside assistance, as it has 3 1,000-foot deep wells to provide fresh water, and a large water storage tank that's used to feed the vegetables that are growing in the garden, and for irrigating the property's land. Add to this the obligatory security monitoring suite that oversees the cameras across the site, doors that can be remotely locked and unlocked, and a direct line to the local police station. Owners can be reassured that they and their possessions will be completely safe. We're constantly adding more people to the Top 5's production team to bring you all the best content. Be sure to subscribe with notifications on and hit the like button. Number 8. Adirondack Park Missile Silo House. Developers have been known to take virtually every type of old structure to convert into a home, but the ones that have become increasingly popular in recent years because of their security credentials are abandoned missile silos. The Adirondack Park Missile Silo House in Saranac, New York is one of these, and it's easily one of the most guarded and secure homes in the state. The building was an Atlas missile silo that was built in the 1960s and was once a home to a nuclear warhead that would have been launched in response to a strike by an enemy state. Of course, with such a powerful weapon inside, the silo was seriously fortified with a fenced border around the 8.3-acre plot, steel doors, and safeguards throughout. There's also a private airfield so you can block the entire facility off from ground access if needed. And since all of the accommodation is underground, there are very few points of access, all of which are closely monitored by security cameras. If you're looking for a place where you can be detached from the outside world and safe in the knowledge that only welcome visitors will ever be able to make it inside, then a missile silo like this is a surefire bet. Number 7. Ojo del Sol. Ojo del Sol, which is known as the Fish Home, was built by architect Eugene Sui in 1993 and is one of the more unusual properties you'll see in Berkeley, California. Its name, which means Eye of the Sun, comes from the 15-foot diameter eye-shaped window that looks south from the house, and the man behind the design says that he took inspiration from the hardiest of all known creatures, the tardigrade. Despite its strange appearance, there's more to this home than it seems at first. Various different materials were used in its construction, including concrete, acrylic, fiberglass, wood, and plastics, and all of the walls have been built at a 4-degree angle. This gives the home far more structural integrity than normal, and because of its low center of gravity, it's believed that it would be able to withstand the forces subjected on it by even the most powerful of earthquakes. With a curved exterior, it's also resistant to strong weather condition and has a number of features that mean it uses far less electricity than similarly sized homes. This all combines to provide one of the safest homes to live in the whole of California, and one that can endure virtually any natural phenomenon that takes place. Number 6. The Thiel House. Peter Thiel is best known for being one of the co-founders of PayPal, and since selling his stake and becoming extremely wealthy, he has been granted citizenship in New Zealand, where he's been building a new compound designed to protect him and his family from any danger they may face. Set in 193 hectares of land in Wanaka, which is the region used as the mountainous backdrop in the Lord of the Rings movies, his complex is shaping up to be a doomsday retreat that will be completely self-sufficient, surrounded by huge perimeter walls and fitted with countless security measures, including pressure pads, heat sensors, security cameras, and a constant monitoring from a dedicated security office. News on what he's actually doing with the site is somewhat sparse though, which is a vital extra means of precaution. Since no one knows what's actually on the land and which security features they'll face, it makes it virtually impossible to know how to get around them. As an example of what may lay in store for potential intruders, he's installed a state-of-the-art safe room in his home in Queenstown too. But this home isn't what he regards as his true safe facility, so the house in Wanaka will almost certainly have far more to keep its residents safe. Number 5. Indian Creek Island. Rather than being the location of just one guarded home, Indian Creek Island in Florida is one of the most secure communities in the world. It's a village in Miami-Dade County and is made up of 41 residences and a country club. With prices averaging around $21 million, it's often called the billionaire's bunker, and it's a prime example of the extra level of security a bulging bank balance can afford you. There's only one entrance to the community via bridge, which is heavily guarded by a security checkpoint, and those planning on trying to sneak in by water will be disappointed because there are regular police patrols by boat and jet ski. As there are a number of celebrities and wealthy residents, extra steps have been taken to prevent prying eyes from spying on them. And this includes anti-drone technology, floating screens that can be erected on the water within a half-hour's notice to prevent photos from being taken from offshore, and careful monitoring of people as they move around the island. Indian Creek has its very own private security detail that's dedicated to keeping it secure, and visitors to the residence of the country club have to be vetted before being allowed to set foot beyond the entry bridge. While it may seem over the top, it's ensured that everyone on the island can be guaranteed their privacy, but many have further enhanced the measures on their own properties too. It's thought that there are more security cameras here per square foot than virtually anywhere else in Florida. And because it's home to a number of tech company owners, some of the most advanced security systems you'll find anywhere in the world. Number 4. Vivos Xpoint. For a long time, doomsday preppers have been convinced that an endgame scenario is just a matter of years away, so have been taking steps to ensure they're safe when the troubles begin. And there's now such a demand for safe houses that it's become a big business. Especially since we've been forced to face the reality of a worldwide pandemic, demand has skyrocketed, and one of the most ingenious, secure, and impressive spaces that's available to purchase for a reasonable price is called Vivos Xpoint. Billed by the company as the world's largest survival community, it's set on a former military site in the Black Hills of South Dakota. It was originally used as a secure site to store munitions, but now has been repurposed to provide 575 bunkers, all of which are made from concrete and steel and designed to protect against virtually any attack. The real safety comes from the communal effort, however. If people are forced to flee to the facility to escape dangers elsewhere, they'll all work together to constantly monitor the perimeter and to grow crops to keep everyone fed. Its location is an important factor to its security and safety too. It's within a 24-hour drive of almost everywhere in the mainland U.S. and is more than 100 miles away from any important military target, so it's unlikely to be caught up in any crossfire. And it's at an altitude of almost 4,000 feet, with just one access road that's monitored by security cameras all along, so residents will have plenty of time to prepare for anyone or anything that's approaching. Number 3. Kim and Kanye's house in Hidden Hills. As two of the most recognizable people in the world, it's no surprise that Kim Kardashian and Kanye West have a lavish mansion. But following a security incident in Paris, they've spent a small fortune to ensure that their family home is fully safe from all dangers. Located in the Hidden Hills of California, a section of the parking garage has now been refitted as a security station, which is manned 24 hours a day. It gives a view across all of the cameras on the site, and a second member of the security team is responsible for continuous patrols around the perimeter in search of anything that looks out of place. There are multiple levels of security before reaching the front door, and even those that have been invited are subjected to what one reporter described as Pentagon levels of security. The front door is said to be so heavy that it looks like it could be lowered over a moat, and the family's also kept safe by an undercover security team that's based on site and can be called into action with just a moment's notice. After all the upgrades, it's said to be the most secure residential structure in California, but with so many threats against their family, who can blame them? Number 2. Buckingham Palace. Buckingham Palace is one of the most popular tourist attractions in London, and as the residence of the Queen when she's in the capital, is a top target for people looking to cause trouble. After a couple of incidents that have seen people managing to break in, including one in 1982 when a man made it all the way to Her Majesty's bedroom, significant upgrades have been installed in the past decades to ensure it'll never happen again. You're probably familiar with the guards surrounding the palace, and while they're mainly there to help entertain the tourists, they are the first line of defense against intruders. As you can imagine, there are also countless security cameras throughout the building that are monitored from a central security station, which also arranges the 24-hour patrols and frequent searches of the private rooms. Undercover security agents blend in with other tourists to keep an eye on things from within the crowds, and there's a continual sniper presence on surrounding buildings to take any necessary action if someone tries to take action against anyone on the premises. And as a last tier of protection, Buckingham Palace also has the largest number of safe rooms inside a single structure that you'll find anywhere in the world, each of which is surrounded by 18-inch thick steel walls and a communication system with the outside world. Number 1. The White House. As the home of the president and usually the symbolic center of world democracy, the White House is a prime target for people looking to strike at the heart of America, so it's no surprise at all that this is not only the most secure home, but one of the best guarded buildings on the planet. Flight paths aren't allowed to fly directly over the building. There's a team of 1,300 Secret Service agents dedicated to protecting the structure and the people inside it, and all of the 147 windows have been fitted with bulletproof glass. The perimeter and wider area around the house is patrolled by the United States Park Police, and everyone that enters the building is scanned and checked in the same way as if you were passing through airport security. All protective operations are overseen from a central security office, and there are several safe rooms throughout that VIPs can escape to if a threat does somehow manage to get inside. In the absolute worst case, the president has an emergency operations bunker beneath the White House, which at 6 stories underground is encased within concrete and steel and is designed to withstand against a direct nuclear attack. It's also an effective safe room where the entire country can be run from without losing contact with the central executive. And there are suggestions that there may be an emergency escape tunnel to nearby safe houses just in case the bunker itself is compromised. With pressure pads, motion detectors, and the most expertly trained security and protection staff the U.S. has to offer, the chances of getting this far are extremely slim. Precautions even extend to checking all mail, vetting food suppliers, and extensive background checks of everyone who works there, and satellite imagery can even be acquired with a quick phone call, which means, in effect, it's more like an impenetrable fortress than a house. Watch our binge-watching playlist if you'd like to watch all of our most popular top 15 videos. Grab a drink, grab a snack, and get ready to binge.